Right now we have our special guest, Melanie Devaney. She is a folk singer, songwriter extraordinaire, and I hope you enjoy her. Good evening. So it's like ladies' night at the library tonight. I was like, yeah, that was great. My name is Melanie Devaney. I am just going to get right to it. This first song is called Sink or Swim. I wrote this, I'll get into my whole story as I play along, but this is a song about sticking with your loved one in the good times and the bad times, even when the sharks are circling. Lover, lover, why do you suffer? Nothing seems to ease your mind. Trouble, trouble, what you double, it only rises with the tide. You're sitting on a rocky ledge. One great shake, you might fall in. Don't be afraid of the water. You've got my love to make you stronger. Sharks may bite and storms may blow again. Baby, dive right in. I'm with you now. Sink or swim. Darling, darling, the captain's calling. Shore leaves over, it's back to sea. No more mulling over nothing, wasting words on a memory. The sun's rising and a new day dawns. Danger is far away, pirates are gone. Don't be afraid of the water. You've got my love to make you stronger. Sharks may bite and storms may blow again. Baby, dive right in. I'm with you now. Sink or swim. Set your course for whatever you choose. A treasure is waiting and there's nothing to lose. Don't be afraid of the water. You've got my love to make you stronger. Sharks may bite and storms may blow again. Baby, dive right in. I'm with you now. Sink or swim. I'm with you now. Sink or swim. Thank you very much, and thank you, Robin, for having me tonight. So my name, as I said already, is Melanie. I grew up over on the other side of the state, near Dubuque, which I have been told is now the Riviera of Iowa. So, but I currently live in Clemson, South Carolina, because that's where my husband is from. And for about 15 years, I was a full-time singer-songwriter, and I did the whole traveling and being on the road. And then, of course, COVID hit. And now I am actually, this is actually my first show since June of 2020. So I appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully I'm not too rusty. I'm actually currently going back to school to be a paralegal, and I was thinking, you remember the singing nun? I'm going to be like the singing paralegal. So. But this next song was one I wrote while I was traveling a lot. I went everywhere. I mean, and especially I lived in Arizona for a while, so I would go back and forth from Iowa to Arizona or California. And I took one trip, and I lived in Nashville also. So on a trip that I took from Nashville out to California, I was somewhere in Arizona. It was really late at night. I was really, really tired. And if I get into more of my story, I started writing songs basically as a form of therapy to get over, boys who broke my heart, typical story. But I was in my car late one night and packed up all my gear. It was just such a it was just so overwhelming. And I'm in a parking lot of a bar at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I look over on the side here, and near the garbage dumpster there was like a rat or a raccoon or something with like a peanut butter jar stuck on its head, and I was sort of like, oh, what is my life coming to? What am I doing here? And I was like, I just want a man to carry my guitar, because I was so sick of carrying all this gear in and out. And I realized that that makes a really good song title. So this song's called Carry My Guitar. City girls with jaded dreams, bumping dirty boys in dark blue jeans. They drink Tanqueray and Grand Marnier and play the game of make-believe. I'm standing in this parking lot, watching shadows falling in the dark. I think I got everything I need, but I want a man to carry my guitar. It's a heavy load rolling down the road, another town, another solo show. I can't go home 'cause I do not know where I belong. But if you came along, it wouldn't seem so far. If you came along, you might carry my guitar. And every night it's the same old thing. I play my heart out on the guitar strings. I try and try, but I'm afraid I'll die on this broken, lonely neon stage. At 2 a.m. I pack my gear. Everyone else bellies up for a beer. And somewhere between night and day, my big-time rock star dreams all fade. It's a heavy load rolling down the road, another town, another solo show. I can't go home 'cause I do not know where I belong. But if you came along, it wouldn't seem so far. If you came along, you might carry my guitar. It's me and the truckers, broken-hearted suckers, chasing what we'll never find. It's good for the long haul, bad for the soul, and it weighs on my mind. It's a heavy load rolling down the road, another town, another solo show. I can't go home 'cause I do not know where I belong. But if you came along, it wouldn't seem so far. If you came along, you might carry my guitar. It's a heavy load rolling down the road, another town, another solo show. I can't go home 'cause I do not know where I belong. But if you came along, it wouldn't seem so far. If you came along, you might carry my guitar. Carry my guitar. Carry my guitar. So I mentioned before I started the last song that I began writing songs sort of as a form of therapy. I grew up playing the piano, and I went to college. I was an English literature major, English literature and creative writing major, and yeah. And then I also had a music major, but I didn't finish that class or that degree program. But so I studied both. And it took a number of years before I was able to kind of put those together and realize, like, oh, if you take music and you take creative writing, you can write songs. And they're much easier to write than novels and things like that because they're very short. But after college, I ended up moving to Florida for a brief period. And while I was down there, my supposed love of my life and I broke up. And after we broke up, he, instead of moving on with his life, as you're supposed to do when you break up with somebody, he moved across the street from me. So, so it was pretty depressing. It was pretty awful. And I didn't really have any family or like a lot of friends in Florida. So I just stayed in my apartment and I wrote a lot of songs, and it worked out well because I, discovered the secret talents, I guess. But this next song is called One Little Teardrop, and it was inspired by this time when you live in Florida where it just rains every day and it gets really nasty, really, what's the word I want to use? Humid and swampy. But I was thinking about how, it's all a big cycle. So the water comes out and it goes around and around, and I don't know, one raindrop from Florida ends up in Seattle or something. So that's kind of what the song remotely
ended up in Seattle to Florida, so okay.
Yeah.
But its glory lasts just for
honest, y'all, I think that is the most depressing song I'm listening tonight. That was early. I did some just recordings early on just to kind of capture what I was working on, and I remember, when we do something, we all the first thing you do if you have a mother to send it to, you send it to your mom, because your mom is going to be like, oh, that's great, that's wonderful. All mothers are like that, you know what I mean? And so I used to send songs to my mom, and a couple of years ago she's like, yeah, those early ones, those were really depressing. But I grew out of that, thankfully, and got really into the songwriting. I love the craft. If you're a writer in any capacity, that's the part, to me as a songwriter, that's really fun. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together, because you only have so much time and so much room, to take a thought and tell a story, right? So over the last few years, I've really been working on that part of it, the craft. And this next song is it came out of nowhere. It's not really inspired by my life at all. I was driving to a temporary job that I had at one point, and I had this little melody in my head, and the line "blink of an eye" came into my head as I was driving, and so I went home, and over the course of a few days, I wrote this next song, which is kind of inspired by kind of the 60s Motown type of song. So it's a vast departure from the last one. Hey, hey, where'd you come from? Don't say just my imagination. You're beautiful. You're so ooh, and if you let me, I'd show you that I wanna love you a long time. I wanna love you just one night. But you're like waking from a dream where I'm talking in my sleep. I try to sweep you up and feet, but you're gone. You're always gone. In the blink of an eye, I could love you a long time. Love you just one night, and I was smiling cheek to cheek. You were too in love to speak. Neither of us could breathe, but you're gone. You're always gone in the blink of an eye. My, what a sweet sensation. You're my kind of good temptation. You're wonderful. You're so tell you that I wanna love you a long time. I wanna love you just one night. But you're like waking from a dream where I'm talking in my sleep. I try to sweep you up and feet, but you're gone. You're always gone. In the blink of an eye, I could love you a long time. Love you just one night, and I was smiling cheek to cheek. You'd be too in love to speak. Neither of us could breathe, but you're gone. You're always gone in the blink of an eye. So the one really nice thing is over the years of writing songs and doing what I do, the writing, as I kind of mentioned before I did the last song, the writing kind of went away from being therapeutic. And then what I found myself doing is looking at other people's lives and writing songs about them, which is kind of relieving in a way, because you have less people coming up to you and going, oh, they assume that the song is about you, and it's like, no, that's about somebody else, thank goodness. But this next song I actually wrote for a friend of mine who has not heard this song, but it's a long story, but it's basically about a relationship between two people in which one of them has really gone through a lot of trauma and a lot of trouble and a lot of issues, and basically the other person sticking by that person, without going into detail, but that's what inspired it. It's called You Got Me Good. So. Loving you is like a mountain. You get to the top, forget where you've been. And hating you is like the ocean. In the middle of it, there ain't no use to swim. You promised me 1,000 dreams, but you leave it up to fate. I keep hanging on until the dawn, hoping things will change. But you got me, you got me. You got me, you got me good. Never loved me like you should. You got me, you got me good. And wanting you is like a blue sky, so much space to fill that never satisfies. And needing you is like a canyon. I jump off the edge with reckless abandon. You turn out to be like broken pottery, with all your graceful cracks. You hurt inside your wounded, fragile pride. These things I cannot fix, but you got me, you got me. You got me, you got me good. If you never loved me like you could, you got me, you got me good. And I'll have you as you're walking through the dark night into the light. And when you get to the place where you know mine's the first heart that you're gonna find. 'Cause you got me, ooh, you got me. You got me, you got me good. Someday, baby, you love yourself like you should. But for now, you got me, you got me good. Thank you very much. I think that's the first time I've actually played that song in front of people. I think I played it like on a Facebook Live during the lockdown, but so thank you for letting me perform that one for you. This next song is called Deeper Water, and this was actually inspired by a sermon that I heard, and that was the title, and I went home after church, and I thought that was just such it was in the bulletin, and I was like, Deeper Water, that's a good line for a song, so yeah, that's what this one is. So I do want to mention that I have CDs for sale. I've played some of the songs on those CDs tonight. Not as many because I've written a lot of songs since I recorded those that I don't have recorded yet. But I don't know where I was going with that, but I just wanted to mention that they are for sale after the show or whatever. This next song that I'm going to do is hopefully someday I will get back out. So I lived in Los Angeles for 6 years, which is where I recorded one of those albums, and then I recorded another one in Chicago. And then I recorded another one in a Thai restaurant, so there you go. My acoustic album, there happened to be a Thai restaurant in Dubuque when I was still living there that had really great acoustics, and a sound engineer I knew, he actually offered, he's like, I'll record you. I just want to record somebody in this building. So you'll see on the back of that one, it says, thank you, Pete's Thai. I'm the only person I know who's ever recorded, an album in a Thai restaurant, but that's cool. But this next song is hopefully the title track of a new album that I hope to put out someday. I actually have the tracks recorded. I just have kind of been sitting on them because I still want to record 1 or 2 more songs. So I went out to LA and started recording with a friend of mine out there, and then pandemic, and I haven't gotten back yet. But this song is called Take This Trip. This was inspired by the very, 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 very many miles that I put on my car over the years. There just comes a point at which you just go like, I can't do this anymore. That's kind of what this song is kind of about. It's called Take This Trip. So I have one good love song in me. A lot of my songs when I first started were both depressing and they were angry. There were a lot of angry girl songs because of the big breakup. But I do have one, I think, fairly lovely love song that I wrote for my husband. It's called Not Too Far Away. Sweet summer lover, don't you remember heart drained, waiting at the airport gate. I flew into Nashville, feeling unfulfilled, and I swore if I got you, I'm gonna never change, but I guess I haven't changed. I'm so far away, but not too far away, to carry your love with me. And all the miles I go, no matter where I go, I hope you still believe. When the cold wind blows, I'll be headed home. When the sun disappears from the sky, when the trees lose the leaves and the flowers go to sleep, I'll turn around to be back by your side. The Carolina man, please understand that the California wanderlust, the Arizona desert dust keeps calling me back. And all the while I'm gone, I'm just searching for a song to say with music when my lips can't move, but I've been feeling all alone. I'm so far away, but not too far away, to carry your love with me. And all the miles I go, no matter where I go, I hope you still believe. When the cold wind blows, I'll be heading home. When the sun disappears from the sky, when the trees lose their leaves and the flowers go to sleep, I'll turn around to be back by your side. Go to sleep now, don't you worry, I promise I am still your baby. Go to sleep now, don't you worry, I promise I am still your baby. Go to sleep, and when you wake I'll be driving down the interstate, crossing borders to get back to you. I'm so far away, but not too far away, to carry your love with me. And all the miles I go, no matter where I go, I hope you still believe. When the cold wind blows, I'll be heading home. When the sun disappears from the sky, when the trees lose their leaves and the flowers go to sleep, I'll turn around to be back by your side. I'm so far away, but not too far away. I'm so far away, but not too far away. I'm so far away, but not too far away. Thank you so much. This next song is on one of my albums. This is called Waiting Patiently. And several years ago, a friend of mine who lives in Wyoming and I joked about writing letters. These young gentlemen over here probably have no idea what a letter is. Do you know what a letter is?
No. Oh, that's sad.
So a long time ago, before there were computers and text messages, people would get a piece of paper and they would say, hey, how are you doing? This is happening in my life and I'm doing all this cool stuff, and they would write. They would write on a piece of paper and then they would fold it up and they would put it in an envelope and they would put a stamp on it and they would put it in the mail. And that's how you told somebody how you were doing, if they were far away. Is that crazy?
I still do it.
So we joked about that, like this past technology, and we joked about writing letters over the winter. So me, being the former creative writing major, I was like, I'm going to write my friend a letter. I'm going to write this beautiful, eloquent letter about being stuck in the Iowa snow in the winter, and all of this, and it was I put on the perfect music. I poured myself a glass of wine and I just wrote this beautiful letter. And it was like, I wonder when my friend's letter is going to come. My friend's letter is going to come. My friend's letter. And the months were going by, tearing pages off the calendar, checking the mail. And by the time his letter came, winter was over. Because the whole point was to write letters over the winter to, just to give ourselves something to look forward to. But, so this song is called Waiting Patiently. I'm waiting for a letter. I'm tell me more than what he wrote. More than how you been, and more than we're just friends. And it's okay that you're far away. I'll see you when the winter ends. Stop on by when the need arises. You're welcome anytime. I'm waiting for a summer, I'm waiting for a mountain, I'm waiting for some stars, even though I cannot count them, even though I do not know what tomorrow or the next day holds. Or if you've seen me in your dreams, counting tales and weaving schemes, tossing coins into good luck streams, and dancing in the light of sunbeams. And I am waiting for a summer, I am waiting for some eyes, I am waiting for a voice I always want to recognize. I always want to take along down the road and on the way back home to all the places I've never seen and all the lands that are part of me. So secret someone, please believe I'm waiting patiently. I am waiting for a letter, I am waiting for a note, I am waiting for the sender to tell me more than what he wrote. I am waiting for a letter, I am waiting for a note, I am waiting for the sender to tell me more than what he wrote. All right, so I have time for just a couple more songs. Do you guys have any questions? I know sometimes people like to ask, like, what comes first, the lyrics or the music, which doesn't. My writing process is very, very organic. I usually I talk to myself a lot and I sing to myself a lot while I'm driving, and that's kind of an idea will come a lot of times just at the same time. I do a lot of journaling also, and I do a lot of like creative, like free writing exercises. So I'll just come up with a phrase and that's how I write lyrics sometimes. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer about the creative process, or I give really good advice if you have. always have an opinion.
Where do you live now?
I live in Clemson, South Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so far away.
So which part of South Carolina is that?
That's in the upstate, so it's right. I live right near the North Carolina border, so yeah, near kind of near Asheville, if you know where Asheville is.
Yeah.
So that's where I live now. For now, we'll see what happens. But go Tigers! That's where Clemson University is. So.
Oh well, yeah, I guess that makes sense too.
Yeah.
You've been into music ever since you were a child?
Yes and no. I mean, I grew up playing piano. It took years to get decent enough, to where I could play and know what I was doing. It seems that way. I look back at my little 6-year, I'm looking at my mom's behind, she's in the back there. So I have a little 6-year-old nephew, and he's taking piano lessons right now, and it's like that was me once, because he doesn't like to practice. He likes to make up his own songs, and I was that child. It's like, this is a sad song, this is a happy song. So yes and no, but I think by the time, which seems like it took forever, but by the time he was in 4th grade, I was like really into it, because there was that moment, and I think this happens for people who stick with anything long enough. There's that moment where the light bulb goes off, and you really actually know what you're doing. So yes, I played in band, and I did. I was in choir and stuff. I always had to play the piano. I never got to sing because I was the one kid at school who played the piano. So I always had to be a piano player. But I think that is part of what actually made me a good singer, is because you're hearing you know, you're hearing a lot more than just hearing your own voice. So I'm not sure, but yes, to answer your question, yes. So yeah, it's been a really fun journey, to say the least. And I think when I learned how to actually write songs, that was really the most rewarding part of it. This next song is a song I wrote about home. So I grew up in Dubuque County, but we actually, my parents still live in that area, just west of Dubuque, and they live in this little area north of a town called Epworth, which is on Highway 20. But their little area at one point was called Kidder, because it was named after the guy who founded the town of Epworth. And there was I guess at one point there was a little train depot there, so they always called it Kidder Valley. And during my depressed period, we'll say, I was very lonely when I lived in Florida. And this is actually one of the first songs I wrote. It's called Kidder Valley, and it's about home. In the green of Kidder Valley, I know I left my heart, 'cause there were little lambs in the pasture and daffodils in the yard. And on that land a cabin stands as humble as can be, and at the top of that old house a room built just for me. In the darkened Kidder Valley, a train whistle will blow, and when it sings its lonely song, it sounds just like a ghost. Deep inside that house, I know a baby's fast asleep, 'cause I still have got a good mom and daddy watching over me. Back home, in the land where I was born, someday to Kidder Valley, I know I shall return. In the spring in Kidder Valley, the snow will melt and go, and 2 little blonde-haired girls will put on their Sunday clothes. Their mom and dad will lead them to the church by their own hands, to guarantee they always know the Savior's gracious plans. In the fall in Kidder Valley, those little girls did leave, and one was living by the sand, the other by the sea. Someday when they are old and gray, to the place they will go back, 'cause neither of us ever could stand to abandon our own land. Back home, in the land where I was born, someday to Kidder Valley, I know I shall return. Someday in Kidder Valley, my memories will die, but another little girl will know them by and by. She'll sing their songs to the little lambs and to the daffodils, and I will hear them up in heaven echoing off the hills, and I will hear them up in heaven echoing off the hills. Thank you so much. All right, well, I am going to do one more song for you all. I'm gonna actually, is anybody, are you guys like kind of shy and you don't want to sing? Or?
She's a good
If
singer.
it's okay.
Okay, I won't make you sing along, but if you feel like it, you can sing along. This is a tune I wrote. I think one of the reasons I got out of music for a little while is, you know, when everything was locked down and you couldn't do this, and I found myself spending a lot more time on social media than I care to. everything just felt so, like, I think that really made things more divisive in the world, you know, because we weren't doing this, we were not talking, we're not learning about each other, we're not hearing the other side. But this song I actually wrote before that, but it kind of is about that whole idea that we have this tendency to see, we don't see the whole color spectrum, let's put it that way. Like, we see up, we see down, we see left, we see right, and I actually got that right because I'm left-handed, so a lot of times I say left and right, you know, black, white, whatever. And so this song is called A Little Truth, A Little Peace, and it's just really about seeing the whole spectrum of things. But there's a little section, and it goes like this. If you want to sing along, it goes, a little truth, a little peace, one song is all you need. And if you want to, sing it, sing it, sing it, sing it, sing it, sing it with me. Okay? So I'll do it a whole bunch of times, you'll pick it up. And I do want to say before I finish, I will admit, I did forget some lyrics, but that's another good reason to buy a CD, because then you can figure out what I forgot. All right, here we go. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Melanie. Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. Thank you, SMU, for taping us. They will have this up on the cable channel, and we can get you a copy, Melanie.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I'll
Send that to you. Thank you all for coming here. As Melanie said before, she has some CDs over there if you're interested. So have a good night. Have a great weekend. Come tomorrow, see the mountain climber, and we'll see you later. Thanks.
I lived in Arizona I've been all over, as I said. I lived in Arizona for a brief period of like a year and a half, and then I ended up moving back to Iowa. And when I moved back to Iowa, I was so excited because there's dirt and there's things to grow and you can raise chickens. And got really into this idea of homesteading, which I still want to do someday. I just can't yet, haven't done it yet. And I would get up every morning and I would watch Little House on the Prairie because I figured that's good training, right? And my parents lived near a nature trail, so I would go out and pick berries, and I was doing all these, like learning how to quilt. It was just ridiculous. But I ran into a friend of mine from college, and she was really into the same thing. And she said, I'm going to some town and I'm gonna go butcher chickens tomorrow. Do you wanna come along? And I was like, yes. And so we went and we butchered chickens. And for every hour that I butchered a chicken, I got a chicken for every hour. And I had like 4 chickens. It was really awesome. And I put them in the freezer. It was great. But I got home and my mom knew, because I was living with my parents still, which happens when you're a singer-songwriter a lot. And she got home and she goes, so you went and butchered chickens today? I was like, yes. And she goes, well, are you gonna write a song about it? Yes. So this is the song. Hopefully I remember all the lyrics, but it is, again, it's on one of the albums over there. So, how many of you have ever butchered a chicken?
I've watched.
So we got this side of the room. These are the chicken butchers
I've
over
only
here. Well, you California girls are mighty fine-looking women, and you New York girls are awful stylish too. But I'm just a plain old Jane from the state of Iowa. But I got one skill you city girls never will. I can butcher a chicken, it don't bother me at all. You just lay your flats, you swing your axe, and watch her little head fall. You pluck out her feathers one by one, pluck them out until they're all gone. If you value your life, hey, I'm holding the knife, don't you call me a hick, 'cause I can butcher a chicken. And you Florida girls have pretty tan skin, and you Texan girls can throw your cares to the winds. But I'm just a country bumpkin, the girl the boys are always dumping. But I got a plan to get myself a new man. I'm gonna butcher some chickens, it don't bother me at all. I'll round you up, listen to you cluck, watch you squeak, squabble and squawk. I'll break your neck and I'll break your crop, I'll blow your lungs all out until they drop. Value your life, hey, I'm holding the knife, don't you call me a hick, 'cause I can butcher a chicken. And you capital girls are always politically correct, and you Hawaiian girls wear them leis around your necks. But I'm just an old hillbilly who care for nothing sophisticated or frilly. But if you're eyeing my guy, honey, you're gonna fry me. 'Cause I can butcher a chicken, it don't bother me at all. You can try to scratch, you can try to peck with your little deacon claw, but I'll throw you in the scalding tub. I'll pull out your giblets, I'll pull out your guts. If you value your life, hey, I'm holding the chicken. If you value your life, hey, I'm holding the knife. Don't you call me a hick, 'cause I can butcher a chicken.